snap, we're back with another Marvel Snap video, as today we have a bit of a different series. Let's call it that, because basically I don't stream on Mondays and Fridays, so while I do have a bunch of really cool decks lined up, I haven't really gotten enough footage with them yet. So I was like, okay, today I'm gonna record a live session. And then yesterday on Twitter, somebody reached out to me saying that they just got their first card from Pool 3. It was, no, not the first card. They have a few cards from Pool 3, but they're starting, you know, to venture into that side of the collection. And they told me which cards they got so far, and if I could help them build a deck with like Pool 2 cards and that like Pool 3 specific card. And that made me think that that's a situation for a lot of you guys, right? A lot of you are probably have been playing for a while, right? And you're getting into Pool 3, but you still have, basically you have an entire Pool 1 and Pool 2 collection, but you don't have many cards from Pool 3. You're kind of like, you know, building decks with whatever you get. So I figured I could do a bit of a side series on the channel in which I showcase decks that have one Pool 3 card, and then I build the deck with Pool 1 and Pool 2. I think that could be pretty helpful, and I can do this with all sorts of different Pool 3 cards. You guys can suggest me in the comments which ones you want to see, and then I can record a bit of a live session with it. Today's video is a little bit shorter than usual because basically I'm doing this before my stream, so I don't have as much time. And I don't think the videos need to be extremely long either, as long as I explain the deck and all that good stuff, and then I showcase it in gameplay in infinite rank against Pool 3 decks and see how it does. This is the first deck of what would be this series, which is essentially with Destroyer. Destroyer is a Pool 3 card, right? I don't want to sound like I'm being deceitful here. It's not exactly a Pool 2 deck. It is a Pool 2 deck with the Pool 3 card, and that Pool 3 card is Destroyer. 6 energy, 16 power. Very strong. With a downside though, on reveal, destroy your other cards. So Destroyer decks essentially build in a synergistic way so that they can essentially deny this negative effect, right? And have a very strong late game bomb to dominate a location with. And this is a pretty standard take on the Destroyer archetype with the Pool 2 cards available, and this would be my approach at it. So we have our Pool 3 card here, and then the rest is Pool 1, Pool 2. For our early curve, we have Ant-Man and Sunspot. As you can see, we have a lot of ongoing cards. Ongoing effects work really well with Destroyer because we can run even the likes of Cosmo to deny on reveal abilities, which is really good because playing Destroyer into the Cosmo location makes it so that Destroyer's unrevealability will not trigger, and thus you get to keep your cards. We also got the Giga Chat Colossus, is also an ongoing effect, and he cannot be destroyed. Very relevant in this deck because not only does he survive Destroyer's unrevealability, but he also synergizes with another potential finisher that we have here in Spectrum. So what we have is an ongoing deck with a Destroyer as a finisher, but also Spectrum as a potential way to end games. We can go with a sort of a boosting last play, which allows us to just spread out more, or we can just drop a behemoth in one specific location after we dominated the other, which we can do through the likes of Iron Man, for example, another great ongoing tool. Warpath is very, very good in Destroyer decks because generally you're focusing on 2 locations, so Warpath can be played alongside Armor, for example, so you can protect him and you have a really build up there. So like, for example, like a combination here, like Armor into Warpath into Iron Man is extremely powerful, right? That's a lot of points. We're talking about 24 points with just 3 cards. And then we can play Destroyer in another location. Even without Cosmo backup, Armor will protect our cards in that specific location, and Destroyer will just be 16 points out of nowhere in another one. And that's very, very strong. This deck is considered to be one of the meta decks because it just performs consistently very well, and it has a lot of tools to actually counter opposing strategies. Specifically with Armor and Cosmo, you can disrupt a lot, right? The destroy decks, you know, if you see a Bucky Barnes being placed there, you can armor that location and watch your opponent cry. You can protect your Sunspot with armor against Killmonger, and you can also Cosmo a Wong location, which means you should be a little bit more patient with Cosmo if you can. Like, I still don't have the most experience playing this card personally, because in reality, if you play more reactively, that's when you get the true value out of it. So you got to keep that in mind. A lot of times Cosmo is a 4-turn play, not or turn 4 play, not a turn 3 play. So just keep that in mind. That's why we're only running 1 4-drop in Warpath, because Cosmo kind of like shares that role a little bit. As, yeah, that's the deck list right there. Your boy Lizard, ongoing effect. -1, but still an ongoing effect, which means it gets buffed by Spectrum. And Captain America, because go America. Just a reliable 3-drop with a good ongoing effect that's going to be consistent and, yeah, reliable. That's basically what Captain America is. And a lot of times, that's all your deck ultimately needs. And that's it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoy the list and the games. Try it out yourselves if you can build it. If you cannot build this one, but you're in a similar situation, you have other pull 3 cards, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll eventually get to it. So yeah, love you. Have a solid day. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Marvel Snap content. Hope you enjoy the games. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, it's been a while since we've done a live recording. We got 105 infinite rank points. We're playing Pool to Destroyer. Let's see how many cubes we can earn. Let's do this. So we'll have to aim for 30 minutes, I think, because you know, I gotta stream. So I think 30 minutes is good though. We could showcase this deck against the high ranks and the Pool 3s. And share the power of Destroyer, as we got Adeline. Adeline will reshuffle our hand, so we want to dump our hand as fast as possible. So we're gonna send Ant-Man over to Adeline because it's a location that we don't mind, you know, fully occupying. Like, it's not going to punish us for doing so. So we can go Ant-Man, potentially follow it up with an armor to protect from a late game Killmonger, and just play as much of our hand as we can. Ideally, like, Sunspot would be a pretty good top deck in these next couple of turns, because if we can go armor and then Lizard into Sunspot, then we've managed to play out our hand really fast. And I just realized I'm roping. Shit, okay. It's early, okay? That's my excuse. Well, there's the Space Throne. That's interesting. We're gonna go armor effective immediately. We wanted to prevent this Nova from being able to go off. Really indicating that, you know, Killmonger is quite the possibility. Ooh! Oh! Oh, that is a snap if I've ever seen one. Yeah. I'll take that free cube before the Adeline procs, because this could have been a pretty awkward game, but just making them run early on, that's more my jam. All right, good start. Martinez is our second opponent. Pretty heavy hand this time around, but we do have Cosmo into Destroyer with Warpath as well. They do have the Sunspot. This could be a ramp deck. It could even potentially be a mirror. We don't have any early plays though. That really sucks. Well, they have a Sunspot, so they definitely off to a good start. We draw ours a little bit late. I think I want to be playing Cosmo on the right. Not gonna snap because we're not really in an amazing position here. That's a pretty strong Scorpion. Like, damn. But X-Mansion can maybe turn things around for us. Okay. What about us? Come on, give me something good. Strong Guy. Oh my goodness. Strong Guy, not really what I was hoping for. I guess we're gonna have to stay away from Atlantis if we want to, you know, use this Warpath properly here. So, but we should find an armor as well if we do want to play into Destroyer. As of right now, I think I'm just gonna Warpath on this side, or maybe on the left. Warpath on the left is a lot of power. I could rack up there. Then turn 5. Maybe I could just Sunspot into Captain America though. Nah, I'm gonna go Warpath on the left. They Wong into Atlantis. Start tower is gonna trigger. I want to go America into Lizard. Not quite snapping yet because we could see a lot of crazy combos here. Maybe that's a Jubilee though. But if that's a Jubilee, it completely clogs up that lane. Oh, it's just Ironheart. Okay.
All systems go.
That Odin is looking really nasty. This Cosmo could have prevented that, but we didn't. We got quite the lead though. And Destroyer over here could really solidify our position. Play Medusa, okay. Wolfsbane to the left. Alright. It's a lot of power. That is indeed a lot of power. What about this Iron Man? Can this Iron Man do it? We have a total of, because it's -1, so we have a total of 12 power here, plus 4 here, 16, 15, 30 points. That's very easy for them to surpass. What about taking the center? Is it plausible for us to take the center? What about you into you? Does that work? Because you go up to 5, that's 11. No. What about you into Spectrum instead? These are 3 ongoing effects, which means Spectrum is a total of 7, 9, 11, 11 plus 12, 23, 20, no, that's even less. And Odin here, and Odin in the center, will trigger Ironheart a ton of times. And unfortunately, we haven't invested enough on the left. This is a retreat. Maybe I could have taken a different approach. It was a bit of a wacky game, though. I think my biggest mistake this match, and it kind of like stems from my inexperience from playing this sort of archetype, is that I rushed my Cosmo. I played my Cosmo way too early, without scouting out what kind of deck this was, and then they just were able to set up a Wong with no consequence, but I could have shut that down. So there is quite a bit to learn from this game. I definitely did rush a bit too much, but we won't make the same mistake twice. On the Mogwai channel. The Mogwai channel, we learn. Alright, we got the Spectrum and Destroy. We have 2 potential finishers here. They recognize us. Uh-oh. I'm gonna send Sunspot to Washington, D.C. Yeah, why not? I do have to worry about some demon shenanigans, but I also have to worry about their Killmonger potentially. I feel like I like this Colossus over here in the Avengers compound. Not sure what they're talking about, not believing us, but this armor is a pretty decent top deck to play onto the left. This Monster Island is actually really good because if they want to carnage this hood, then they can't really benefit from it, but then they're playing Sentinel as well, so I'm not really sure what's going on here. I'm going to play armor. I'm spread out through 3 lanes, right? I'm going to play armor on the left. They storm the center. We don't really quite have... We could forsake this center. Or we could Captain America. Captain America is a total of 4 points over there. If they play Jessica... Okay, so Captain America has 7 points in total. If they play Jessica Jones, they go up to 10. After a Spectrum boost, we get ahead of them. So I am gonna play Captain America in there. Dodge the Killmonger. They play the Demon though. Get a little boost going on there. There's Cosmo. We take the center, which is pretty huge. And now all we gotta do really is Iron Man into Spectrum, I think. I feel like Iron Man into Spectrum does it. Even if they have a Klaw on the left to boost this area, they kind of they tie to a Spectrum anyways. So I am Iron Man. They have Devil Dinosaur. They could have Death as well, but triggering Death is easier said than done. I do feel like Spectrum here wins. And I could also threaten this side as well. But Spectrum here is a total of... we have 7... Okay, so we have a total of 5, 7, 12, 15, 30 points. They actually can match that pretty easily. What about you? The problem is we lose in the center. We lose everywhere else. I could be threatening that side though. Because Destroyer on the right. Problem is this Captain America dies. This is risky, but maybe they go to the right. Yeah. Okay. Okay, they got us. They got us. They got us. They got us with the arrow. They got us with the arrow. A lot of power here. The Washington D.C. made the difference with that. We lose 4 cubes there. I could have retreated there, but I felt like it was worth risking because there were several situations where we won there. Maybe my Captain American play here. I think it was correct. It's just that we weren't able to spread out quite as well as we have like. Maybe targeting the Monster Island a little bit more. Maybe just going into the Monster Island instead would have been the way to go. But we didn't have initiative, so we couldn't shut down stuff like with Cosmo. I don't know. It was a weird situation. All right, let's bounce back. We're out to a loss here. Like we started. Yeah, we've lost some cubes, but we'll regain them. We'll regain them. Azazel. Avengers Compound, good location to place Ant-Man in, because it is one that it's likely that we're gonna be flooding, since we're forced to play on there on turn 5. Thematically, it makes sense too, you know. Ant-Man to the Avengers Compound, right? He's technically an Avenger, right? Okay, never mind. Never mind. I like armor here though, to reinforce the Ant-Man location, and then possibly Captain America. The thing is, what am I gonna do on turn 5? I can Iron Man into something big, but oof, this Craven. But the Craven will move as well, so I definitely I have to avoid playing stuff in the Bifrost. Okay, Captain America is really interesting on the right, actually. The problem is I'm forced to play stuff turn 5 here, which means I may Iron Man into Spectrum, and if I do that, I only have 2 turns to, like, I have to fill up this location. So perhaps Cosmo over here. Now let's go Cosmo over here. Sure, all right. Yeah, they're getting a lot of movement there, a lot of power over there to that side. I'm gonna go and just Captain America here. Hope they don't storm there. Like, they definitely want to be moving themselves. Okay, Okoye doesn't trigger. What about Klaw? Their big units are here. Like, if they move stuff to the... So if they want a Heimdall, they still have a lot of space to do it. They're going to play something here. If I play Iron Man, then my Spectrum actually leads to more power. Let's go Klaw, because maybe I take a different approach. Okay, so if they play Heimdall, it has to be on the left. If they play Heimdall over here, and we play, they move these 2, so that's 5 power, 8 power, 16 power. We can't match that. And then all this moves to the center. So I think Spectrum on the right. It's a bit risky what we're doing here, because we're anticipating like a very clear, but I think that's what they're definitely going for. So Spectrum on the right should actually win it for us, because Spectrum on the right will allow me to win the right as they move into the center, but also will allow me to reinforce this location as they Heimdall on the left. Okay, they Magneto instead. What the? Okay. Okay. Well, that works too. I'm gonna go ahead and say I expected that. I stand by this line of play, though. I stand by this line of play. Because Heimdall here is very telegraphed, right? Like, they definitely run in a deck like this with Vulture and Kraven. And I would have really... I mean, I didn't do the math exactly, but I'm pretty certain I would be able to defeat Vulture and Kraven into that. And just take the Savage Land by surprise. Because I Claw into Spectrum in one location doesn't really lead to much power. But I didn't want to go Iron Man. I really wanted to reinforce the middle. I think that was the key to winning. And we'll take it. Could have more cubes. Still in a net loss, but slowly but surely redeeming ourselves. Ants. Ants is our next opponent. Lemuria. Okay. There's the Spectrum. Where do I play this Ant-Man? It's important to curve out with this deck because if we draw a 2-drop, I mean, we have double 5-drop right here, right? But that can change. I think developing Lemuria is fine. We could potentially... We have two alternative routes, right? If they're not really fighting us this location too much, then we can just Claw into it. I'm gonna go Lizard. Reinforce the location that has Ant-Man as they go Angela in the center. Okay. Los Diablos gonna pop something. God damn, these Raptors, man. Raptors everywhere. Like, now, are we stacking on the same location or are we taking a different approach? I mean, the Angel location is probably the one that we have to avoid. We do need a 4-drop, though. I'm gonna play Colossus on the right. They have discard. Alright, the Savage Land got nuked. I repeat, the Savage Land got nuked. We have Destroyer, but we don't really have much synergy. This is looking like a rough game. We didn't find any follow-up play, and we're gonna have to skip turn 4 with no Sunspot or anything. That just does not look good for us here. The Scarlet Witch on the left. Okay. Ah, this Warpath. We needed to draw this one turn earlier. Now it's got to be Iron Man over here. Because he is Iron Man. And, I am Iron Man. They have Sarah. Oh, how many cards in hand? 3 cards. I mean, not a crazy amount. Like, actually not a crazy amount. How's Spectrum? I mean, Spectrum over here, like, leaves me wide open on the right. Like, if I play Spectrum, it has to be on the right. Spectrum on the right gives me a total of 7 points, which gives me a 10-point lead. And then Spectrum buffs all these. But Lizard could go down. Still, at the minimum is 2, 3, and 2, 3, 5, 7, 14. Yeah, like if they flood this location, Lizard's gonna be weakened. My Ant-Man hasn't reached the us missing in that turn 4 play. Because if I have a Warpath here or on the right, I can just play Spectrum over here, and then I feel pretty confident. But we missed that key turn. We drew too heavy, and we gotta live to fight another day. It is what it be. Better to lose 1 cube than to lose 4, like earlier. All right, getting the missions though. Come on, we got to break even. At least break even. I mean, I think we've done pretty well. We just had a loss, you know. It's a short time, and we've had a loss, which we lost 4 cubes, right? Kind of set us back, but we gotta, because with this deck, it's like, it's not like hyper explosive, right? You're like slowly crawling into that position, so being aggressive with your snaps can be detrimental. Okay, can I draw another 2-drop here? Or that works too. That's great. Fantastic. I don't want to Cosmo yet. I am gonna go Armor on the left in case they have a Killmonger and they want to enable their death. I'm gonna prevent that from happening. So Armor on the left. Limbo, Elysium and Limbo. Okay, so Armor. Okay, what we need to do is we need to pair Cosmo with Destroyer. I feel pretty confident this one. I'm gonna snap. I think this is our game because we have one more turn, so we're able to play both Spectrum and Destroyer, which is kind of insane, right? So the question is, I mean, this Warpath doesn't really do much, unfortunately. I do like it in the center, though. It gives me some presence there. Okay. Korg over there, Warpath there, so they storm on the right. And there's no more limbo. So no matter what we do, we want a back-to-back 5-drop. So the problem is we want an Iron Man as well. It's a Cerebral deck. If I would have played, if I would have played that in the center, okay. It's a lot of power. It's a lot of power. We gotta believe in Destroyer. Destroyer gets us up to... Oof, Destroyer is really risky. Because if they have an Onslaught here or something, then they're easily able to take it. Playing Cosmo in the center would have been better. But only Onslaught really takes it there. Okay, that's Iron Man. We can handle that. We can handle that. Let's go! Let's go! Winning big! I was actually okay. I could have played this better though. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's early, and I'm not as I'm a bit slow, okay? But I anticipated like seeing the Cerebral there. I think playing Iron Man in the center. I mean, it ended up working out for us, right? But setting up Cosmo here, I think if we set up Cosmo here into Destroyer, it would have been the same effect. It would have been the same effect. Like the same power in the end over here, right? Like we just need the power on the left. But by setting up the Cosmo Destroyer here, I prevent the Mystique. But I would have had to play the turn prior, right? Like if I'm able to Cosmo the center earlier, instead of developing Iron Man that turn, if I play Cosmo in the center, then I just get to shut down the Mystique after. Like they have no place to play Mystique, and their Cerebro is just severely hindered. And I'm able to play Destroyer on this location. And then I need quite a bit of points, but way less than it seems. I need like they would have been at 15, not 21, if the Mystique doesn't go down. So that means 15 points. That means 4 points here. That means that I need 12 points in my next like 2 plays. But after going Cosmo here, the following turn is where I could have reinforced here with like Spectrum. Yeah, we definitely make it. We definitely make it because just Spectrum with Colossus, just Spectrum with that is just already like 11 points of it. I mean, yeah. That was definitely the way to go. I just like analyzing the games and seeing what I could have done differently because I think what shows in this video is that I haven't played Cosmo that much yet. I've actually been playing a lot of other decks that actually try to reveal and not shut down reveals. But it's actually a pretty skill intensive card to learn how to play. Like learn when to time it, predicting where the opponent is gonna place their big reveal effects. Like that takes some time, and I think I'm eager to play more Cosmo in the future because this card is extremely good. It only gets better as you get more into pool 3, but it is not as easy to play as it seems. Like you really need to understand the opponent's strategy and where they're gonna be sending their thing. But we ended up big, and we did end up going with a net positive. And we completed all the missions. And that's it. Short video today. Better than no upload, I guess. I really wanted to share a proper like a deck that you guys should be able to build pretty shortly, unless you just don't find Destroyer. But let me know if you guys want me to do more videos like this, in which I showcase essentially a pool 2 deck, but with like one card from pool 3. And that way, a lot of you guys who are getting into pool 3 and can actually build a deck. So I think it's a neat idea, and I would like to do it, but let me know what you think. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Marvel Snap content. We'll be back at it tomorrow. So I'll see you then.